my crafty friends. Taking me a minute to get the camera set up here. Running a little behind today. Not gonna lie, my desk was a mess and I needed to get it cleaned up. So I'll give it a minute here, make sure that it looks like we're good to go. I'm just checking my laptop behind me to make sure that it's working. Yep. All right, there it is. Okay. So I'd love to know what everybody's working on. If you guys making any cards today, making any, starting to work on like holiday cards or even holiday gifts. I actually have a craft fair next Friday, so I've been busy trying to prep items, mostly cards, but some other fun items too, for the craft fair. It's in our neighborhood here down in Florida, so hopefully my local Florida peeps will stop by and visit me next Friday in our clubhouse. So I wanted to start off by covering a few housekeeping items because it's the end of the month, beginning of the next month, so there's things that are ending and there are things that are getting ready to start that I'm doing, so I just wanted to kind of go over them. I wanted to start with the promotion we have right now in our starter kit. This is honestly the best one I've ever seen them offer in over 20 years. And right now you can join our community of crafters for only $35. You get to choose $125 worth of product. There's no shipping, so you only pay the $35 plus whatever your local state income tax is. You can choose up to $125 worth of product. So it's just a great opportunity. Like, let's say you just want to stock up on a bunch of adhesives, or let's say you're new to card making and you've been following me a little bit and you're interested in maybe getting started and jumping in, but you don't have anything. So you need a paper trimmer and you might need some adhesives and maybe a stamp set, a couple ink pads, some cardstock. I'm happy to help you to design a starter kit if you're starting from scratch. If you already own some Stampin' Up! Products, like you know our products, the quality is amazing, and maybe you use this as an opportunity to purchase some cardstock, or definitely adhesive would be a great one. I know one of the people that have joined my team this month, she bought a bunch of our kits that we offer because she loves our kits, and it was just a great opportunity to do so. The great thing is there's no future obligation, so you literally can take advantage of this offer and you don't have to do anything else. The best part of the offer is that you get at least a 20% discount on all of your orders going forward. So if you love our products and you're going to be purchasing them anyways, it's nice to get the discount for yourself. So if you're interested and you want to know more about the offer, please just shoot me a quick message. You can, or comment below in the comment section, and I'll reach out to you once I finish with today's video. The next thing I want to talk about was my November stamp club. The RSVP for that is coming up on November 1st. And this month, actually move this box out of the way for a minute. This month we are featuring the Peaceful Garden collection. And I'm just going to show you the cards that are included for this month. And what you get with your club membership is you're going to receive a whole pack of the 12x12 designer paper, which is called Peaceful Garden, that is used on these cards. And you're going to receive a pack of the Hues of Blues embellishments, which will also be used on these cards. Actually, I'll go back and show you, because on this card, we've got a few of them here. And they're different color blues, so they coordinate with all the different designer papers, and they're really, really pretty. And they're self-adhesive, so they're really easy to put on your cards. You will receive all of the supplies to make 8 cards. So you're going to get to make 2 of each card, and all the supplies are pre-cut. You get a PDF that is going to give you the instructions, and we will do a monthly Zoom. I didn't bring my calendar with me. I believe this month I'm doing it on Tuesday, November 18th, only because the Thanksgiving holiday, I would have normally done it the next Tuesday. My goal is to do it the last Tuesday of the month, but that Tuesday I will be traveling to Charlotte so that we can spend the holidays with the Thanksgiving holiday with the kids. This is the stamp set that is featured on the cards. You can choose to add this on to your club order. You just let me know you want to add it. Or you can use whatever stamps that you have at home, whatever sentiments you have at home. I just like this because, you know, you'll see, like, you can use it for sympathy, thinking of you, you know, prayers. But I also, on this one card, turned it into more of a Christmas card. So, you know, there's just options with it. It's very versatile. And honestly, you probably could never have enough sayings when you're thinking of people or you know, sympathy. Unfortunately, that's just a part of our life, something that we experience all the time. So if you're interested in the November club, the RSVP is due by the 1st. And when I finish this video, I'm going to go back and add in the comment section some links so that you can view more information about everything that's included. And I would love to have you join me. If you are local in Florida, you don't need to do the class via Zoom. We will actually set up a time to do the class in person. So any of my Florida Stampin' peeps, if you want to come by and do this class with you, I would love to do that. And that would be a lot of fun. So the next thing I wanted to talk about was I designed a class, and it's by the Jolly Delivery, the North Pole collection. And so let me just show you what you get with the class. Is you get a full pack of the 12 by 12 designer paper. And this paper is a lot of fun. There's also included in this, there's 2 sheets of die cuts. And the die cuts, you just pop them out and you can use them on the card. And I'll show you the cards in a minute so you'll have a better idea of how I use some of the die cuts. You also receive the dies and the stamp set that coordinate together, and a full pack of the Dear Dots embellishments. This is all included in the class. You will also receive all of the pre-cut supplies to make 6 cards and 2 fun little boxes. And I'm going to just slowly show you the cards that we are using, or that we are making. This one's so cute. This one I stamped the bear, the polar bear. I decided to not color it, so I left it white so that it looked like a polar bear. And then I used the coordinating die that cuts it out completely for you. But I did color the packages using our Stampin' Up! Blends. That's the first card. Here's the second card. This one uses all of these little pieces are the die cuts that come with the Designer Series paper. It just makes it so quick and easy to put together some cards. This card I was inspired by Loretta Marie, as she posted a sample very similar to this, and I just loved it, so I decided to use it as inspiration, so I just want to give her credit for that. Next card, this is one of my favorites, designed and inspired by one of my favorite ladies. I love following what she makes. Her name is Amy Coenders, I believe that's how you say it. I just love her style. It's very similar to mine, so I just really, really like this card a lot. And I just love this paper with the houses. The rest of the cards are mostly mine. Like, they may have been inspired by other cards, but this one here, I mean, how cute. The bear is also another one of the die cuts. And on all of these, the designer paper that you see in the background is included in the pack of paper that you get with the class. Okay, and who doesn't love dogs? So how cute is that? Again, these 3 pieces are the die cuts that come with the designer paper. Here's the last card that goes with the class, and you'll get all the supplies to make one of each of these cards. And I don't know, I just really like this one. I love the houses. These 3 houses are also die cuts out of the package, and I just did a little watercoloring with a blends to kind of create like a street to ground the houses. So those are the cards. And then we have a couple of boxes. And the boxes are made using this die that comes as part of the kit. Hopefully that's not too shiny. It's actually kind of hard for me to see on my laptop. But this die uses approximately a 6x6 sheet of paper. You can use designer paper or you could use cardstock. And it cuts it out, it scores it, does everything you need it to do. And you literally can fold it up and not use any adhesive. But when I give you the instructions for the class, I'm actually going to show you that I did use a little bit of adhesive. So I'll just open this one up so you can kind of see it. This is the back, and there are different like options you can use for the flap. This one I used the heart, but you can see like there's a circle flap, there's a heart, and there's a star. So on this one I used the heart, and it just pops open. And there you go. There's your little box. I should get my ruler out real quick because I don't even know what size it is. So it's approximately 3 inches by 2.5 inches. They're really cute. I think it would be fun to put little goodies in them, little notes to people in them, and then you just fold that back over. This one I used the heart as well, but I also created a belly band to close it using a piece of ribbon. And one of the die cuts. These all have the die cuts as well from the paper. When I finish designing this class, I have so much left over, so I'm going to have a lot of fun creating a lot more with it. So this is my Jolly Delivery class that I'm offering. The RSVP for it, I believe, is next Monday, the 3rd. If you're interested, I would love to have you join me. You will get a PDF full of instructions. I will also be doing a video where I will go through and make each of the items. So you will have access, it'll be exclusive access. I won't be posting that as a video live for everybody. It's just gonna be for those that take the class. And again, if you are in Florida and you're interested, I will actually hold this class for you in Florida. I have had a couple people ask me, and that's why I want to make sure I throw it out there. We'll pick a date that works for everybody. I'm very flexible. For a lot of us, we're working around tennis schedule, so I will definitely help work it around tennis schedules. So that was the housekeeping I wanted to take care of before we jump into work on this kit. The kit that we're going to work on is called the Handmade Heartfelt kit. This was actually a kit we offered for World Card Making Day, and it's been sitting in my office and I haven't touched it yet, so I decided today was the day that I was going to get it out. And I just really want to show you, I love our kits. I love making the cards in our kits. I love teaching classes with them. I'm actually doing a class in Florida on November 15th where everybody will be making cards using our Beautiful Blues kit. So I'm really excited about that. I wanted to show you, when you open it up, here's what to expect in our kits. And this is one of our kits that has a stamp set. So when it has a stamp set, you're always going to get an ink spot. And this one is the Secret C ink spot. It just makes it, you don't have to have the full ink pad. It's just super easy to have that on hand. It comes with a stamp set. And with my white background, it's probably hard to see, but we're going to use it so you'll get to see it in person. Then it comes with all these supplies. I'm going to take this box out of the way. And I think what I'm going to do is probably start with the box, because this kit is actually a box to hold your cards. I'm going to get my scissors. I'm going to try to make sure I've got the camera on what I'm showing you. I'm going to get my scissors and I'm going to just open this up. I love how it's all just pre-packaged. You just have to open it up and it's ready to go. So here are the pieces that are going to go with the box. And I am going to go ahead and open the other because the instructions are in the other package here. It also comes with an insert for saving the stamp set if you want to put it into like one of our cases. And you can, depending on, you can order it in different languages. Obviously I ordered mine in English, so I would just cut this one off and I would store it with the stamp set in like either an envelope or a stamp case so that I know what's in there, what the different sayings are. So, that back out of the way. Actually, I'm probably gonna need that. Let's see. So we're gonna just take a look. So here you got our instructions. And this is what I love about our instructions, is that they're very detailed. And so you can see, it's gonna tell you like exactly what you need to do and in what order you need to do it for the box and for all of the different cards. On this back, it kind of summarizes for you on the last page. It just shows you for each thing that you're making, what pieces are included in that. But that is detail and more detail in the actual instructions. So what I'm going to do is just open this up. I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of my stuff out because I don't know if I'm going to need something from here or not. So we have some twine. We have these. This whole package is full of all the supplies we're going to need to make the cards. Go ahead and take my twine out of the bag. And all of our kits also come with, if they're a stamping kit, they come with a block. This is the block that you're going to use so that you can adhere your stamps to it to do your stamping. They come with adhesive and embellishments, which are the best part, right? Who doesn't love embellishments? So we'll just set some of that aside for a minute. And we're going to go ahead and jump in on the box. Now keep in mind I have not opened this yet, so I am seeing these for the first time with you. So, according to the instructions, it wants me to crease the flaps on this long piece. I guess I was going the wrong way. Sorry, my bad. So we're just going to give it a good crease. Sorry if I'm just moving stuff around a little bit too much. I know that can make people dizzy. There we go. Give that a good crease. So it wants us to crease those and also to crease these little pieces as well. And it's already scored, so all you have to do is fold it. So I'm just looking at the instructions here. Okay. Oh. Since I'm such a figure it out on your own kind of person anyways, I think this is going to be really easy when we pop it all out and get ready to do it. So this is the box. You can see how the box is going to fold down. Like that. So before I fold it all the way, I'm going to take the backing of the adhesive off. And then I'm going to fold down this bottom piece so that I can adhere that in place. So now you've got the bottom. And then I'm going to use take your pick tool just so that my hands aren't completely in the way. And I'm going to pick up the adhesive here. I guess my hands are still in the way. For the sides. I can fold those pieces into the sides. So now, if you look, you can see that it's all, the base is there, the bottom is, this is super sturdy. And then these pieces are going to go in next. And as much as I love their directions, sometimes I do have to just kind of figure out what they're trying to tell me. So it looks like, so there's little numbers, here we go. There's a number 1 on the inside of here and a number 2 on the inside of here. There's actually, probably can't see it, but there's a 3 and a 4 in there. On the instructions, it tells me that on this piece, there's a number. It's probably really hard to see because it's really small. It's really hard for me to see with my glasses. There's a 1 there and there's a 2 there. And before I peel anything off and put it in there, I'm gonna just kind of dry fit it first so that I kind of have an idea what I'm doing. So when I put the 1 and the 2 next to the numbers on the box, that's kind of the place it's gonna go. I just wanna make sure before I do anything that I put these in after and not before. Okay, so then this one, according to the directions, this piece is piece number 3. And the number 3 is the one that was in the middle here. So this is gonna go in here like such. And then it will get adhered. And this other little piece is piece number 4. And it is gonna go in here. There's a couple places for it to be put in there. So, all right, I'm gonna just come back out now. Let's take our backing off. And what you want to do before you put it in there, make sure it's folded, because you don't want it to stick where you don't want it. And we're going to put this in place. And when you have this in hand, you'll see that you're lining it up. I hope I line it up right. But you're lining it up. They have the numbers in place where you're supposed to put the flaps. I think I got it crooked. Well, I got a little bit of time. There we go. Let's try that. There we go. I think it's still crooked. That's okay. It'll all work out. Did I mention I am a perfectionist, so that might bother me a little, but that's okay. Oh, and there's, when you take the adhesive off, there is a number 3 on there. I didn't know that. So we're going to slide this into here. And it goes where the number 3 is. And we're going to take the adhesive off piece number 4. And we're going to put it in here. Now, if I were going to make a bunch of these, I think I might do it just a little bit different order. I might actually put these pieces together before I put them inside the box. There we go. And just like that, our box is finished. How cool is that? I can't really explain to you how sturdy this box is. If you don't use this to store cards, you could use this. You could put your scissors, you could put your adhesives. I might do that. I might use it to put dimensionals and stuff in here. So I'm going to set that aside. And we're going to go ahead and move on to the cards. All right, when I get a kit, what I like to do first is I actually like to sort all of my items. I always look through because sometimes the envelopes are different. These envelopes look like they are all the same. So we're going to take the envelopes and we're going to set them aside. I'm going to put them in the box because we're just going to set them over there because we don't need those right now. Then I like to figure out, I like to take the card bases and sort them out. So these two are the same. We're going to just set that aside. These are really pretty. Look at the rainbow. It's very pretty. I love the colors. And then we have this fun banner card. There's 2 of those. I have 2 of this craft color card and 2 of this blue that's either blue, it could be a Secret Sea, since that is the ink color. It would make sense that that's probably the color. So we've got our card bases laid out. And then I'm going to use the little cheat sheet that was the very last page. And what I'm going to try to do is go through and sort the other pieces into like which cards they go with. This is just how I like to do it. So I'm going to put that in the middle so that you can see what I'm working with. And I will start with this. They have all these different pieces of die cuts. So I've got this banner. Oh, it looks like it's on that card. And since it's going to make 2 of them, we're going to need 2 of those. And then I have this banner that is craft color, and it looks like it goes on the card that's going to have the birds. So I have those over there. They always give you extra pieces in these kits. So we're going to just set those aside because you never know, we might need them. Oh, and then the pack I just found, you get a whole sheet of dimensionals, my other favorite embellishment. All right. And we have these 2 mats that have a rainbow. I can only assume it's going to go with this rainbow card. We have 2 mats that have a little sunburst on them, and it looks like I have this wrong. Sorry. See? The banners, those go with the pennants. This goes with that. Then we have another mat that has a very delicate die cut out of the middle of it. This is going to go with our blue card base. We have another mat that has a little sunburst that's kind of cut out for the middle, and it looks like that goes with our pendants. We have some more die cuts that we're going to punch out. So we've got a couple seashells. Oh, okay, it's starting to make a little more sense. So this intricate die cut is like a little coral reef. It's going to have a couple of those shells and a couple of these shells. These are some big die cuts. These are some big flowers. So what I'm going to do is punch that up. I always like to go a little slow on those because you just don't want to accidentally rip it. I have done that before if I've been trying to go in too much of a hurry. All right, so we have these 2 long pieces of floral, and it looks like they go right where I had them. And then we have 2 smaller floral pieces that are going to go on the rainbow card. So I'll set that up there. We got a couple more things to go through here. We have these little circles. I'm looking at the instructions and I'm not sure where they go, but they are self-adhesive, so I'm going to go out on a limb and say that they're for closing the envelope. So we're going to just set those aside for now. And then we have our white die cut pieces that we're going to use for stamping on. So we're going to need 2 of this white rectangle piece. And we have this banner that we're going to need 2 here. And then we have one last die cut. And this one goes with the rainbow card. And you can see they give you extras. So when you're stamping, if you make a mistake, then, well, first of all, you can turn the paper over and you can use the other side. I love to say most pieces of paper have 2 sides. So if you make a mistake on one side, flip it over. Sometimes that doesn't hang true, like if it's a piece of paper that's got a pattern on one side and not on the other. But most of the time that works. Every sheet of paper has 2 sides. Let's set that aside. All right, so that we are done sorting. You can see in the picture it's got the twine, but we're going to save that for later. Like, it also tells you that you're going to need like these certain embellishments and how many you need on each. but we'll do that as we go along. So what I'm going to do is start with card number 1, which on here says number 2 because the box was number 1. And that is the one with the coral reef. So what I'm going to do is move all the rest of the supplies just temporarily out of the way so that we can work on this one first. And I'm hoping I'll be able to keep everything in the picture for you to see what I'm doing. For the video, I'm actually going to use my full ink pad only because I tend to not open the ink spots because I like to potentially use them later. I can put them in card kits, or if somebody is missing like they don't have the large size of Secret C, I can send them a small one if they want it. So I'm actually going to just set that aside. Set some of that aside. We're going to get out the stamp set, and we've got our acrylic block. And since this is photopolymer, I am also going to use our foam mat to do my stamping. I like to do things assembly line kind of style, so I'm actually going to lay out both pieces that we're going to stamp. And on this one, it says we're going to use the Wishing You the Best. So, oh, just put the instructions right into the, oh, it's not open, never mind. All right, so wishing you the best. And we're gonna just put that down, upside down, and so we can just put our block right on top of it. I love our photopolymer. I love that it's clear. You can see exactly where you're putting things. And then I love our acrylic blocks for the same reason, because you can see exactly what you're doing. And with all of our photopolymer, I like to use the foam mat because you get a much better image. So let's open up my Secret C ink pad. And you could change this up if you're at home and you have all your other ink colors and you're like, well, I really don't want to use that color. Then, use another color. Whatever kind of jumps out at you. So I'm gonna just ink up the stamp. You can also kind of get a good look and see that it's inked and ready to go, although my finger's probably in the way. And it looks like, according to the instructions, you can see where they stamp it on here. It looks like it's mostly centered, maybe just a little bit off to the right. So that's exactly what I'm going to do is their center. I'm just going to go a little bit more to the right. To hold it for a couple seconds and then lift. There's one. We're going to do that again. And that is done. I'm going to go ahead and give the stamp a clean because I'm going to need the block for the other stamps. So I'm just going to go ahead off to the side and get it clean. And just put the stamp back onto the plastic piece that it came on. All right, move this mat out of the way and we'll continue with the instructions. So it also tells me in the instructions that I'm going to need 15 inches of the twine that's included. So we'll go ahead and, oh, I'm going to wish I had done this before we got started. Sometimes I have a hard time finding the end. When they roll up the twine, like it's so tight. I have a hard time coming up. Aha, found it. There we go. And I have my ruler here, so I'm just going to use my ruler. Sorry, I was just making sure everything was still good. And I'm going to cut 15 inches, so it's 12 plus 3 more. To cut the second one, I'm going to use the first one. There we go. Now I have my 2 pieces of twine that I need for assembling. And it looks like I'm going to be ready to assemble. I'm going to use my bone folder to give the card bases a nice crease. Just going to fold that in half. Give it a good crease. All right, and make sure they're opening the right way so that I don't do them like backwards or upside down. Hopefully you can see everything in here. It looks like it. I was just checking behind me. I'm gonna move this up just a little bit. There we go. So the instructions say that on this piece, this mat, it's telling you on the back side here that I'm gonna bring this up a little. What that means, those are the dimensionals. That image means dimensionals. If it wants you to use adhesive, which in this kit is our adhesive glue dots, it's a different image, so I'll show you that when we get to that. It doesn't look like I'm using any of the adhesive on this. So it's telling me that I'm going to use 6 dimensionals on the back side of the coral reef. So it really does try to make it as easy as possible, like so that you just follow the instructions. It's just as great. You don't have to be an experienced stamper in order to make our kits. Some of our kits actually don't even have stamping. They've already included the bits and pieces that have the sayings, and so you don't even have to stamp, which, where's the fun in that? But if you just wanted to make a quick and easy card, you could do so very easily. So we're going to just take the adhesive off of all of our dimensionals. I apologize if I keep going off screen. Sometimes it's hard to see what you're doing without putting my hand over the camera. And then we're going to adhere that onto our card base. And by popping it, instead of being flat, like it just kind of gives a little more dimension to the coral reef. We'll do that on the other one. Now I could use my take pick tool to get the backings off of those, but I actually find it, I can do it with my fingers faster. All right, so we've got that part. Now it's telling me, move these up. So it's basically telling me that on the back side of my rectangle piece that we've stamped the wishing you the best on, it's telling me that I'm going to add dimensionals. So you flip it over, and you're going to add dimensionals like such. On the back side of the shells, it kind of shows you, this is the back side of the shell, and it actually, like, kind of so you can match it up with the way they have it. We're going to add another dimensional there. And for the other shell, it actually wants me to cut a couple dimensionals in half. So I'm just going to go in and cut in half. So it's saying to put one down here. And the other one, it wants it cut up here. So now we have all of the adhesive ready to go. One thing it really doesn't show you, sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't, is the twine and how we're going to add the twine. And you can see that the twine is going to go under this piece. And it kind of just looks like a bow. So I've seen some people actually just make it like a bow like this. They just kind of, because it gets hidden in the background, so you don't really have to tie it. I actually find it easier to try to tie the bow and make the loops as big as you can. I didn't really center it, but that's okay. Well, no, it's really not centered. So I changed my mind. Let's try again. There we go. I'll make the loops as big as we can make them. And that, when we get ready to put it on the card, is going to go behind this piece. What it doesn't show you in here is how you would adhere that to the back of that piece. And that's where your little glue dots come in handy. So I am going to use the Take Your Pick tool this time so that I can go on the back side of here, put one of the glue dots, and use the Take Your Pick tool to take the adhesive off, or not the adhesive, but the backing off. And then I'm going to turn this back over. I'm going to kind of figure out where I want this bow, and I missed. There we go. Put it right on the adhesive. I'm going to do that again with the other one. This one I'll do it the other way. I'll put this adhesive on here just to show you there's different ways you can do it. And this is where I always get caught though, because I'm like, okay, I want the bow to go this direction, and then when I get ready to adhere it, I almost like 9 times out of 10 have it backwards. So here's the bow. Yes, so I'm going to take and adhere it and then flip it over. It's the way I want it. Now I'm thinking I really want to redo the other one, but that's okay because it doesn't have to be perfect, right? These are handmade. Let's get the card bases back out. And it's time to start putting it together. So we're going to take the dimensionals off the back of our seam. And we're going to just line this up on the card. We're just using the picture as our example. Dimensionals again. And then we're going to add our seashells. We'll add the larger one first. Just come in here, and you're just using the picture to figure out how you want to do it, how you want to get it on there. There we go. Just make sure you have your bow out of the way. There we go. Then we'll do the smaller seashells. And it goes on here like that. And like that. And then there's one last piece that goes on here. And you can kind of see up here in the corner, it shows you 3 of the embellishments. And there's different embellishments in the kit. So there's blue ones, and then there's this copper color. And it's easier to see probably in person, but here you can see that they're more blue colored. and here they're more of the copper color. So for this card, we're going to use the copper. And we're using 3 of them. And it shows you, if you look at the picture, you can see that there's 1, 2, 3. So we're just going to go ahead and add those on. This time we're going to use the other end, take your pick tool, that has the little rubber that comes out of the end. It just helps you to pick it up off of here and place it. 1, 2. They're very sparkly. Might be hard to see, but they are very sparkly. They just add like a nice color. And who doesn't like bling? Okay. Oops. Hold on. Runaway embellishment. There we go. Use the other end when that happens to pick it up off the table. And then the cards are done. You can just go back in if you want and trim if you think you have any extra ribbon. Just give that a good trim. And there we go. First cards are done. They're white on the inside and they're ready to go. We're going to go set those in our little box. And we're going to move on to the next card. Let's do the rainbow card next. I'm going to go ahead and get these supplies from my little pile over here where I have them pre-sorted. There's the rainbow supplies. We're going to start by creasing the card base. Such pretty colors. So I always like to crease on the back side of the card. Got our card base, and this one you can see we are using Hello Sunshine, and we're going to stamp it on the banner pieces that are included in the kit. So let's do that next. Get out my foam pad, my banner pieces. And we're looking for Hello Sunshine. So we're going to take Hello Sunshine off of the plastic and adhere it to our block. This one, if you look, it looks like it's stamped pretty much in the middle. So we'll go ahead and ink it up with our Secret C. Hold it for a couple seconds. With the photopolymer, if you hold it for a couple seconds, it just allows the ink to spread out and you get much better coverage. One more time. All right, let's set the ink pad aside and give the stamp a good clean so that we can have our block ready for the next one. We're going to put our stamp set back on our plastic sheet, set the block aside, and set the foam out aside. Now, the instructions also say on this one, oh good, we're doing the same thing. We need another 15 inches of the twine. Twelve, 15 inches. And we need 2 of them since we have 2 cards. So same thing, we'll just use the first one as a template for the second one. Our twine is ready. All right, how many of you are clean crafters versus, I don't want to call you messy, because messy is not a bad thing. How many clean as you go, and how many clean at the end? Maybe that's the way to say it. I'm a clean as you go kind of girl. But I also, if you could see my pantry and my craft room, I have a little OCD. and I own it. I'm okay with it. I'm okay if people think I have a little OCD, because I do. Okay, so we've got our card bases, and we have all our pieces. We have our stamped piece, and we have our mats, and you can see that on the back side they're white, so it makes it very easy to know which is the front, which is the back. And we're gonna just take a peek at the instructions here. And just kind of get an idea. Okay, so this is showing me that I am adding dimensionals to each corner. I'm gonna add another dimensional at the bottom of the rainbow. And then it wants me to cut a dimensional in half to put on one of the arches, just to give it some stability, it looks like. I'm also going to add some dimensionals to the back of the banner with the saying, and to the back of the flower piece. That's one of the die cut pieces. So let me go ahead and do all of that. So each corner. And under the rainbow. And we need to cut one in half. We'll just come up where I already cut down anyways, cut it in half. And it's basically saying to fit it on this little part of the rainbow. Just like that. All right, the back side of my banners, and it looks like the dimensionals are just two of them, kind of one on each end. And on the back side of the flowers, we are going to come in here in the center part and add a dimensional. So now all of our pieces have adhesive. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and adhere the mat, the rainbow mat, onto the base of the card by taking off the backing on all the dimensionals, including the little half dimensional. Oh, this is going to be hard. I'm going to have to stand up to do this so that I don't put my head in the camera, but I can see what I'm doing. Because you obviously want to line this up a little bit so that you can see the rainbow, see the colors shining through. There we go. Did anybody else buy this kit? If so, have you made it yet? And what did you think? I think this kit as a whole would be great to create as a gift to give somebody. I like thoughtful gifts during the holidays. I don't think you have to go out and spend a lot of money on somebody's gift in order to give them something that's meaningful and that they will really enjoy. So I'm all about gifts that include handmade cards or boxes or scrapbooks. I have made scrapbooks many times as gifts. All right, I'm gonna sit back down. So the next thing we want to add is we're gonna go ahead and add this little flower. You can see it's just kind of at the top of the rainbow. We've already put the dimensional on it. So just make sure we got it facing the right way. Or just put this up here. And then the last thing to add is going to be our saying. And guess what? It's got another ribbon bow behind it. And I don't know why I find it so hard to do these on camera. Because in real life, like when I'm just making cards at home, I do ribbon all the time. I do twine, I should say. I don't use ribbon as much. I used to like ribbon a lot more than I do now. But we're going to take put one of our little mini glue dots in the middle. And then take the backing off so that we can the ribbon on there. Now I need to get an idea. Okay, so it goes this way, and we want the bow to go this way. This is honestly the hardest part for me, is making sure I get the bow the right way. Because when you flip it, it's like the opposite. Watch, I'm gonna do it wrong, but we'll see. Okay, so we're just gonna take and see if I do it the right way. When I flip it, oh, it's the right way. Yay! Okay, so you can kind of see it's just it's just the opposite of what you think it's going to be. But it gets me every time. Just gonna use that little adhesive in the middle to keep things in place. We have our bows ready to go. So we'll take off the backing on the dimensionals. Let's get this into place. And obviously you can make these bows as big or as little as you want to make them. This kind of just goes over, it looks like it overlaps the rainbow just a little bit. Hello, sunshine. I'm going to just do a little trimming. And the last thing to add are going to be embellishments, the bling. So the picture shows that we need 3 of the blue. And these are sequins. And sometimes the embellishments are different sizes. So sometimes you'll have, these sequins will be 2 different sizes, sometimes 3 different sizes. So you just kind of have to use the picture when they're different sizes and figure out which one goes where. This one, they're all the same size. So it's just really a matter of figuring out where they go. And you can see here, they have one of them up here. They have one down here. And a third one right there. So we'll just do the same thing on the other card. Now, I will say this, if you wanted to make these cards and not have to deal with the twine and the bow, they would look totally fine without it. So, there we go, the finished card. Hello, sunshine. All right, card number 2, we'll put that in our box. And we'll go on to card number 3, which is going to be the happy birthday. So it's going to be the card base that has the pendants on it. It's got the 2 mats that has like a sunburst on it. And then we're actually going to stamp on this. If I had to guess, I'm guessing this is Lost Lagoon, this color of the cardstock for the banner. But we're going to stamp on that. So let's move this aside and bring over our mat. And we are looking to use happy birthday on this card. And what's nice about this too, like if you don't want to do hello sunshine, you could turn it into another birthday card. Like, so it's totally up to you what sayings you use. So we've got happy birthday. I'll go ahead and ink that up. And I feel like I didn't get a good ink on there. Nope, we're good now. Just trying to make sure I get it straight. There we go. Move that out of the way. Let me clean my stamp off. just like the others, we're going to start with the card base, and we're going to give it a good fold using our bone folder. I mean, that's just fun all by itself, honestly. If you really want to, you could just do happy birthday and be done. But we're going to make it as it shows in the kit so that I can just show you what was intended. All right, so, I just learned something. All right, here we go. So here we've got this piece here, and do you see this little dot on the front of this mat? That's actually for a glue dot. It was also on the one before it. I just didn't know what it was for, but I just figured it out. So we're going to take our glue dot, and we're going to it says basically you're just putting it down there, and this will make sense in a minute when we get there, so hang with me on this. There we go. Now, once again, it wants me to turn it upside down and to add some dimensionals on both the mat and on the happy birthday banners. So let's take care of the dimensionals. Always one in each corner. This one, it wants me to just add another one for a little support right there. One in each corner. Oh yeah, and two on the banners for the words. Voila. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put this piece onto our card base. So we're going to take the backing off the dimensionals. We're just going to set this on here. This one, you're just looking to center it on the base, which I'm sure you were with the other one, but this one, you're not trying to line anything up, so it's a little bit easier to get the mat on there. Same thing here. All right, before we add the words though, we're going to need some more twine. So our instructions here say another 15 inches of twine, which seems like a little bit much because I'm looking at where we're putting it and it looks like it's a much smaller bow. So I'm going to do 12 inches just because I don't think I need the whole 15. I think a 15 would be too big. So we're just going to do 12 inches. And this is where the mini glue dot comes in handy that we put on the mat. I feel like I might have put it a little high. So I'm actually going to try to move it down just a little bit. And that's not my OCD kicking in at all. I'll put another one on here because I messed that one up. All right. And then we're going to create our bow on the card instead of on the back of the piece. This is going to be so much easier. See, like you learn as you go. I'm going to give it a cut. Then we can add the happy birthday banner. And you just want to make sure you cover up the center of the bow and where that little mini glue dot is. We're going to do it again with this one. Let's see if I can move this down a little because I definitely had it too high. I'm going to get I glued it up. There we go. Take our ribbon, make the bow. This was so much easier to do the bow this way. So if you are not following along and you're going to do this by yourself at a different time, just remember that I just taught you a new trick on how to make this bow so much easier than the way I was doing it. I don't know why I didn't think of that before. Probably because usually when I do bows, I tie the bows. But all right, and then we'll add happy birthday. And of course, we now need to add some embellishments. And you can see in the picture that we've got 3, and they are the blue. And it looks like we're putting 1, 2, 3. So let me get our rhinestones and our take your pick tool. Put one down here in the bow, one up here. And this is great. Like, there's no right or wrong when it comes to putting these embellishments on. Hope I'm in the camera, sorry. Oh, come on. Oh, because I didn't pick it up. I'm like, why is it not sticking? There we go. There we go. Happy birthday cards are finished. I'm going to add those to our little box here. And we're ready for the next card, which is going to be this cute card with the birds. We got more bows, it looks like. All right, so for this one, there's not a lot of pieces. See, I knew I'd figure this out later. That piece, I didn't know what it was earlier. That had all the circles that I thought were self-adhesive. I guess they're not. I just have to punch out all of the circles. And you could save these little circles and use them on other cards. Could actually make some like fun like confetti to put inside the card. They pull out the card and all these little circles fall out. It just would be fun, a way to use it instead of wasting it. All right, circles are punched up. I'm actually going to move them aside and store them in my box. There we go. Okay, this one we are stamping thanks so much on this one. So let me get my foam mat and my 2 pieces, and you can see that these banner pieces, one edge has a little scalloped edge and one edge is straight. So if you look at the instructions, the scalloped edge is on the left. We are using thanks so much. We're going to go ahead and ink that up. Ooh, that's a lot of ink. Hold on. I feel like I got a lot of ink on that one. Oh, it was fine. Try again. Here we go. Thanks so much. Thanks so much. Clean the stamp. I'm definitely a clean as you go kind of girl, if you can't tell. All right, and then we're ready to work on assembling this one. We're going to start with the card base. Fold it in half. Give it a good crease. That's really cute. And guess is that we're going to be adding some dimensionals. So on the back side of the piece with the circles, it looks like we're adding a lot of dimensionals, one in each corner, but then it's got like 9 total that we're adding. On the front, you can see where it wants me to put a little glue dot to help me with putting the bow on the front of the card. So let's do that first. Let's get a little glue dot. And hope we get this where we want it. Okay. Now we can flip it over. We're going to use a lot of dimensionals, one in each corner. Now, if you're not excited about dimensionals, which I can't imagine you wouldn't be, just kidding. You could just skip the dimensionals. Like if you wanted it to just be flat on the card, that would be totally fine as well. I happen to love using dimensionals, so I have no problem adding all these onto here. All right, and then on the back side of thanks, we're also adding dimensionals. And it should come as no surprise, but we're going to need some twine to finish off this card. And we are looking at another 15 inches. We are ready to assemble. We're going to start by taking all the backing off of these dimensionals on the mat that goes on the front of the card. Flat backing. One aside, because I'm going to stand up for this part so that I can see what I'm doing, because you want to make sure you are centering on your card front and that you're getting all the little birdies sneaking through the little windows. This is really cute. This might be my favorite so far, just these little birdies. All right, ribbon time. Off. And we're just making another bow. That little backing just wants to stay in there. There we go. So we got our bow in place, and we're going to add the thanks so much banner. Do that again for the second one. last thing is going to be, of course, some embellishments. So this one, we're back to the copper color, and it looks like we're doing 1, 2, and 3. So we get one down here, one up here. I think the hardest part for me about putting embellishments on sometimes is making them look random, even though they really aren't, because they're kind of well thought out where you're putting them, but you want them to look random. So to me, it's a little bit of a challenge. All right, my card is done. These birds are really cute. So we're gonna add that into our box. And we have one more card to make. But before I get that out, I'm going to clean my desktop off just a little bit. All those little pieces, I'm going to find them all over the floor later anyways. But all right, so this is the card that has the brown card base with this blue, what looks like the sun to me, so like a little sunburst. And we have two of these banners. We're using the Thinking of You, and we have some flowers. Let's do our stamping first. It looks like the Thinking of You is stamped into the center. I always like to look at where they position it, because sometimes you want it off to the right or the left if there's going to be like an embellishment that covers up one side of it. So we've got Thinking of You, but we're doing it in the middle. And since this is the last card, I'm not even going to bother cleaning. I'm just going to close my ink up. Let's take our card base and let's go ahead and fold it in half. Give it a good crease. If you don't have one of our bum folders, I love them. I use them on every card. Just helps your card so that it lays flat while you're working on it. We have our sunburst, and now that we've made so many of these cards, I could finish this card without looking at the instructions, because it's going to be very similar. So you can see that they have put a little mini glue dot in the center of the sunburst. On the back side, we're going to add 5 dimensionals to pop it up. On the banners, it looks like we're using a dimensional and a glue dot. Okay, so the side that's over the flowers uses a glue dot. The side that's over the base of the card is going to use a dimensional. So the dimensional is going to be on the right side of the banner, because we're also using dimensionals on the back of the flower piece. So let's just start by adding our dimensionals to the sunburst mat. Five on this one. 5 on that one. I'm going to turn it over. And there is no right or wrong way. It looks like it's centered. The starburst is centered. So let's go ahead and add our glue dot to the center. And we're going to go ahead and just put this in place. I mean, isn't this just great how just quick and easy I'm just making these cards, and when I'm done I'll show you the whole box with the cards. It's just amazing how fast it all comes together. This would be such a great gift for somebody. I'm already trying to decide who I might give this gift to. And might as well just do the ribbon while we're at this stage. Again, it's telling me 15 inches of the twine. Since it's the last one, I could just take what's left and kind of guess, but I'll go ahead and measure it. Because there will be some twine left over, especially because that one I didn't cut it as long as it said I needed to. So twine is cut, and you can see there's still a little bit left on there. You could use it to make a couple more cards if you really wanted to. All right, we're gonna do the fun bow. So in the picture on this one, the bow actually is gonna go in the opposite direction of all the other bows that we've done. So we're just going to go the other way with it. And you know, sometimes you have that like, oh yeah moment when you're almost done. A trick with working with our twine that I find very helpful, especially when you're trying to tie bows, is to actually straighten it. Just take your fingers and just do this a couple times. And it actually makes it a little easier to work with. I always do it like by instinct. I just, for some reason, didn't think to do it today. Because usually I'm tying the bows. I actually like tying bows. Not everybody does, but I do. There we go. So there's our bows. We're gonna add some dimensionals to the back of our flower. I mean, how pretty is that? And all the work's done. You didn't even have to stamp it, cut it out, or anything. You just had to punch it out. So, just looking to add 3 dimensionals according to the directions. It just needs 3. Add this to the card. And we're just going to use the picture so we can figure out which way. That way. I'm just going to set this across the front of the card. And the same thing, yep, across the card. Okay, I was thinking of you that we need to do, and remember I was saying earlier that it's going to use a dimensional and a glue dot. The glue dot is going to be on the left side because this side of the banner is going on top of this piece that's already raised. This side is going on the other side where it's going onto the mat of the card, which is not raised because it's not on top of the flowers. So, doing dimensional and glue dot. Backing off. We're just going to use the picture as our guidance, and here we go. Do a little trimming if your twine's a little bit too long. We have one last piece to do, which is going to be the bling. And on this one, the bling is the blue. So it's the blue sequins. And it says we're going to need 3 of them. And let's see where they're at. It looks like 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. And obviously, you can put them wherever you want. Sometimes your pieces might line up a little different from the picture because you might have just put it on in a different place. So you just put it where it looks good. And this kit comes with extras, so if you really wanted to, you could go back and you could add more, because you can never have enough bling. So there we go. That is the finished Thanking of You card. Here is the box, which I'm going to add these cards in here. And we also have the envelopes that go with it, that when you fold them, you can stick them in the back when you actually fold the flaps down. So now that the person that you give this to has a box of cards that they can use to send cards to somebody, let them know that they're thinking of them, they appreciate them, or they want to wish them a happy birthday. If you really wanted to surprise them, you could throw some actual stamps into these other pieces here. And that way it's like a complete gift. So this is what the finished box looks like with all your cards and your envelopes tucked in there. So we just made 10 cards with the envelopes and this box using the Handmade and Heartfelt kit. I think it would be a great gift for somebody. I think it would be fun actually to gift it to several people, because what's better than receiving a handmade card in the mail? Let's just be honest. Getting a text is nice. Getting a Facebook message is nice. But going to your mailbox and seeing that somebody took time to send you a handmade card, it's just hard to beat that. So I hope you've enjoyed, and I will put some links below once I get the video finished here. And if you have any questions, let me know. Thanks so much.